Hey guys, welcome back to my Star Wars Reviews. We're taking a look at X-Transbots as Apollyon, and of course, if you like what you see in this review, you can pre-order your X-Transbot Apollyon at tfsource.com. The logo should be right there. Been trying something new. Click it, like it, love it. Go there, buy stuff, whatever. But off the bat, here's the bot. Comes with a bevy of accessories. Mind control helmet. He actually has a key to Vector Sigma. This is an alternate chest piece for him. It has asteroid damage on it. This gun, see in the movie. I love this mace. It is awesome. As well as his beam sword. So getting some of these accessories out of the way. Taking a look at Apollyon himself. Now the shoulders are ball jointed. I had to heavily polish the right side ball joint because he just was not holding up the rifle well. But you can see he is now just fine. He also does have articulated fingers, multiple joints on each finger. Fantastic head sculpt. Waist swivel. Now, when it comes to QC, I don't know if this is necessarily poor QC because it's not like anything's loose or anything like that, or maybe just poor planning. There are tabs that, well, there are actually 3 tabs. One towards the bottom, one in the upper middle, and then one in the front middle that peg these two pieces of the side skirt here into the crotch plate. The ones that go in the front middle, they tend to swivel inside when you try to press them in, and it's very hard to get them to catch. And they're also not tight friction-wise to the point where they just stay on. Sometimes when you're trying to spread the legs and things like that, these come apart and it becomes annoying. It's not that hard to get them back, but it sucks to do it, you know, twice in a 2-minute period just because you felt like playing around with the legs. So what I do when I'm moving them, I just hold it in and move the legs around. But he has inward outward thighs, front and back, really strong ratchet, good knee joints there. And of course, there's some tilt here, really tight tilt at the ankle. Also, when it comes to the arms, I didn't go over it. He does actually have double joint here. This piece moves here, it's just really tight. As well as elbow swivel. Now, these have to be pulled all the way out. You can see here, I'm actually going to just take his arm off. But this piece, it doesn't lock all the way down. So for this sample, I have to pull it, but you can see once it's all the way down, it swivels in, swivels out. Good amount there. So the posability is nice. This trademark cannon actually has a light up gimmick with a switch. Really cool. Now one thing that's got people a bit miffed is the gap in between its sides. I don't have anything to really excuse that or remedy it or anything like that. It's wide. It's what it is. So that's one of those things you either like or you don't. Some would say that, well, the thickness of the thighs is directly, you'll see during the transformation, the trigger's under here. So the width of that in gun mode really is what determines that gap there. So that was a sacrifice for the transformation. Like I said, you either like it or you don't. Also, one thing that threw people off a bit, the length of the legs. I think the thighs are fine. The calves, though, a bit short, but not bad. Definitely not bad. And even with the gap, as soon as you take them from that dead-on front angle, it looks way better. I'm not saying you want to pose your toy so you're looking at it at an angle all the time. I'm just saying, you know, a lot of toys have something that looks bad from one angle. It's kind of what it is. So either like it or you don't. Not excusing it. It's what it is. But my big quarrel with this is those tabs right there. Those are really annoying. Taking a look at some of his accessories. I actually like how they have the stock and scope set up for this one. So that's really cool. He's got the handles there. No grips for him or anything like that, but with both hands, You can actually hold on to him. Get that out of the way. And also, if you want, before I forget, you can put his forearm cannon on there too. So he has an even bigger one. It's good stuff. Oh. He's pretty stable too. You can see right there. He dropped. The feet are die cast and stuff like that. He's a well-made toy. Good plastic quality. Not the thickest stuff on the planet, but good. Very, very good. I haven't dropped it or anything like that yet. Knock on plastic. I don't want to, but it seems like it hold up okay. I haven't had any instances, even during the transformation. I actually filmed it before this part, to where there were just little tiny frail pieces and things like that. It's good. Now, for the key to Vector Sigma, it is what he is. Just holds it. There's no Vector Sigma for it to go on. Helmet just pops right over the top there. Good snug fit. Both the gun and the sword have tabs that tab well into the insides of his hands. I say that and I can't find it. Okay. And you see, even not looking at it that time, or taking the arm off, I was able to get the swivel there. Weapons peg in tight. Now these open, they're really hard to open. There's like zero clearance, but for the sake of showing you how everything goes. Okay, so the piece that this, or each side actually, has an open and enclosed in chest plate. You just replace it and you peg the swivel part back in. So let me do that. And boom, now he's got damage. Now the mace, I am not comfortable doing this because the first time I did it, it went on really tight. This form just goes in like so. But let me see if I can get this a little bit easier this time, maybe. There we go. And there's that. Those are his accessories. Alright guys, I'm actually moving to a different room to go ahead and do the transformation here, so I have a little bit more space and can look at the instructions and all that stuff. And here we go. The first part actually focuses on the feet. So, 2 inner flaps here. Take those, flap them up. These heels here, put it in, and then just take the flaps back down. After that, the feet extend like so on each side. Okay? Flaps in, or heels in, flaps down, feet extended. Pretty simple. The next part has to do with these leg pieces on the inside here. So, take them out. And then the thing is, it says to flip them around. So, nope, flip it around. Take this inside piece here, flip it around. Okay. Make sure they're facing outwards. These 2 flaps here, supposed to flip up. That one's already flipped up. These 2 flaps here, flip them in, and then flip these 2 end pieces down. Alright. So you can see what you got right there. These black pieces that become the handle on the legs, that's what this next section is all about. Just making sure these ends are separate. Two flaps right here. Flap right here. And then they just go down. This goes down and forward. Goes in place really nice there. For these two, gotta figure it out. And it's hard because his feet, we just took the heels at the beginning and disseminated those. And there it is. We'll see if this fits together a little bit more congruent as we continue to transform, but there we go. Just a quick note about this. Right here, there's a peg for these two back ends to peg into, and that makes it a lot more flush. You'll see it when you're transforming it. From there, it's getting these legs lined up so you can slide them down. I'm not sure how far they're supposed to slide down. That one slid down a lot further. So, we'll make sure we have this one at the right angle. Maybe try it again. Is that one just tight or what? Because you guys saw that one went down really easy, but this one not so much. I took it off camera a little bit and figured out I just had to push harder. But from there are two spots where the side pieces peg in. Unpeg them. Unpeg them. Bring that waist piece forward. Okay. From there's this flap right here. Bring that down. You'll see the trigger right there. Okay. And on the back, there are two, and I'm actually looking through the camera right now. They're split in robot mode, but you want to put these together. And I believe they come down. Make sure. Oh, they just go in. Okay. These two leg pieces back here, bring them around, bring them back, and right there, my problem where it's not lining up, I just have to turn the head. Okay. It's cannon unpeg there, no big deal. But there are a bunch of pegs and stuff like that. It's a little bit dark, so give me a second. So you guys can see how it looks when it's all whatever. All lined up. Alright. When I'm not jiggling it, this part stays attached a lot better. Alright, so now begins focusing on the upper body, of course. As you see, the lower body is pretty much done. These two flaps right here. Well, one flap per arm. I don't want to get that confused. There's the arm. And that'll actually make it easier to transform. So you take that, and then flip the arm in. Okay? And on each arm, you just bring it up. I'm going to do the other arm off camera. And just a quick look so you can see how Megatron looks. Or Apollyon looks. Both of those. From there, both arms back. And you can technically do this transformation without taking off the cannon or anything. Mine was already off because I was showing off the big blaster thing attachment. So I just left it off to give myself more room. There's a piece back here, flips out. And from there, be careful with this part, because it actually is supposed to flip around. I'm gonna take this off camera
bring it a little bit closer to me and show you how it looks after. Alright, and bringing it closer, you can give yourself a lot more room. This actually lifts up quite a bit to make room for this to turn around and stuff. I couldn't see that from this distance, but I don't want to break anything. And that's why I brought it off camera. But it's good to learn too. So there's that. Okay. So for the next part, it says both arms are supposed to slide down. Let's hope that this does like the instructions then. That would be great. Because I see this piece here, but I have no idea how they're supposed to go down. I'll actually take that off and see. I get it now. Alright. So, it's hard to do because they clip in tight. I'm taking off the arms. Screw it. There's one. Let's see if I can get the other one with the arm on. Nah, that's going to hurt my finger. But you have to unclip it from these white pieces here. Jiminy, that is tight. Crazy tight. And then they both come down. Alright? So what I'm going to do, pop the arms back on now. Alright. Supposed to keep that, but then this whole thing kind of lifts up. Once you bring these pieces down, you're supposed to be able to just slide it through. There we go. There we go. Alright. And both these tabs here, they just go in. This one's kind of loose. Alright, we can see what we got now. Might have to push that back in. And once you get those pieces extended out, don't forget this piece here. It's almost like a lock, if you want to call it that. Turn it back up. See, now I can do it, even with the distance, and put it back. Home stretch here. You take this, bring it forward. Tabs in pretty nice. Alright, so you got that. These arms, I'm just going to take them, swing them each the other direction. Alright. And I'll say this, I'm impressed with this piece right here. Very, very sturdy. So, I don't know if that's die cast or really hard plastic. It's got that like chroming over it, but it's a good solid feel to it. Like, I don't feel bad about that at all. Alright, and it looks like from there, the whole waist, taking it, turning it around. I have to point out a quick discrepancy in the instructions. In the instructions, I'll go ahead and show you straight out. Okay, so it shows you being able to open this back flap or whatever, and the gun's still to the side, and you've got the free flap there, and all's well in the world. In reality, this hinge that the nozzle part of the gun comes on is attached to this flap. So if you try to pull it separate from this, it's going to break everything. So, so annoying. That should actually be down first. And then from there, head, you know, just put it all back. Like, it works fine, but I don't know if those are going to be the final instructions or what, but it's definitely not the same as it is in reality. So these are just PDFs, a lot of room for that to change. I know instructions are like the last thing, but wanted to show you guys that real quick. But now you've got the head in. The next part, two pieces on the gun here, or the arms, they both just flip down. And then from there, bring them and begin to line them up. I'm going to make sure that I don't break anything, so I'm going to do this part off camera. Alright, so now we've got it lined up. I took that flap, just moved it back to reveal that hole. Same on that side. There are two metal pieces, or hard plastic, I'm not sure. right there. Okay. And what it says is I should be able to use that to lower, but let's see. See, that part's in the way. That Y piece there, so let's see if we can't get that adjusted back in first. There we go. And then, so if that helps lower it. Alright, and once you get everything lined up, the instructions again seemed pretty out of order. Like, I don't know. They can be, I'll actually do another video on that, but I don't know what their final instructions are going to be. I don't want to rag on them too much, but definitely, as they are right now, I think it's going to be really confusing for people to get it from point A to point B. And that's unfortunate, especially on such a high-end piece. But there you go. There's the basic gun mode. Got the LED and stuff like that. This thing's fucking awesome. Just a hell of a trip to get there. But honestly, I actually thought that went a bit smoother than my first time transforming Hegemon for sure. But let's go ahead and take a look at the gun mode. And see me, that's my old dog Puffy. He still lives with my parents, but he was an awesome dog. And here he actually is in alt mode. For me, it's definitely the best representation of Megatron's G1 alt mode that I've seen. It's about 10 inches, and that's just in the unaccessorized mode, but it's good. It's good, it's sturdy, it's not, I don't have pieces falling off in my hands or anything like that. It's nice. Nice springy trigger, working safety. And to get the actual add-ons put onto it, it's as simple as, man, I'm gonna actually have to move the camera back. Moving that back, and then just clipping it on. So my hands are definitely in the way here, but it's kind of what it is. Let's see if I can get a tight grip there. Ugh. That's a hard one to balance, but I think we might have it. See, I had it, then I got greedy, then I lost it. But it's what it is. I'll just hold it in my hand. Whatever. But you can see here with the additional stock, and it pegs in tight. I've carried it all around. Rats and messes on the dogs with it, etc., etc. This is huge. My hands are definitely not small, and it's a nice, comfortable grip while I reach across the camera and unpeg it. But there you go. This is just a lot to try to do in front of the camera, especially reaching across it. These lights are hot. Let's go outside of everything for a bit. We're gonna go. They're 28 inches. This piece is absolutely phenomenal. Final thoughts on this guy. X-Transbots knocked it out of the park. You know, there are people that are going to be like, oh, well, you got this for review, so you're just giving it a good review. Because, no, I couldn't stand Ollie. Like, there are a lot of KFC products I really didn't like at all. But this one was good. And I think they knew that this was kind of maybe their last saving grace, because if a lot of people didn't like this one, I don't really know what they could do to redeem themselves afterwards. I'm not a masterpiece collector, so I'm not saying, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna get every single masterpiece figure that they do after this. No. But after seeing this, it definitely gives me more confidence that their future figures are gonna be good. This has been another Kuma Style review. Thank you guys for watching. Looking forward to you guys' thoughts once you get them in hand as well. And if you like what you see, if you haven't pre-ordered them already, go to TF Source. Link is in the description. Later.